Republic, Washington, home to a populace of, give and take, 1,200, swings with the ebb and flow of northern Ferry County's economy. As an historic community, this town has recently taken to the arts seriously. Two artists in residence, Kevin Green and his wife Cynthia, both champions of the arts community, are contributing to this movement in quite an unusual way. Owners and operators of the Kettle River Urn and Casket Company, art in the form of function is produced daily. Built with quality materials, antique hand tools, and modern-day machinery, skills honed from a lifetime of experience working with wood are combined to produce one-of-a-kind works of art.
Most of my caskets are made out of tongue-and-groove lodgepole pine, which is probably as inexpensive as any wood you can buy in the Northwest. It's prolific. There's no shortage of it, and it's because it comes out of small trees. It has a lot of flaws. It has a lot of knots. It has cracks. It has character. I mean, it has to be a piece of wood that will hold together, and survive the process for a little while. There's no long-term guarantee on caskets. They're built not to last, basically. The goal is to make it elegant but inexpensive. The urns are more of a treat for me because I can use any kind of wood I want to. They use so little wood in the production of the urn that I can use some real exotic hardwoods, some beautiful woods. I build mostly with just oak, which is one of my favorite woods. It's a lot of fun working with nice woods.
Depending on the type of wood used, the building of a casket can take from 22 to 50 hours of work, whereas the urn can take from 6 to 16 hours apiece.
Shellac is a totally natural product. It comes from the secretion from some kind of a beetle. And then, because it's basically cut with alcohol, it's fairly non-toxic. Yeah, I've probably got 20 hours into this box right here, and the handles and the hinges will take me 4 or 5 hours at least. So I built the hinges out of oak.
Hailing originally from the hardwood country of Minnesota at the age of 19, Kevin caught a freight train bound for Spokane and hitchhiked his way to Curlew, about 22 miles northeast of Republic.
I just kind of escaped up to the mountains. I'd never been to the mountains before and fell in love with this country. Pretty much been here ever since. I've been a carpenter on and off most of my life. And that became sort of a frustrating occupation because wood became less and less a part of what I did. What I do here in the basement building caskets, I buy a raw material, which is lumber, and turn it into a finished product. It works very good with my tendency towards independence. And I don't have to go anyplace. I do it at home. I get up in the morning, go down to my shop. It's perfect to me. It's a short commute.
After spending a couple of years in art school in Spokane, Kevin brought back newfound inspirations, especially those associated with the Oriental aspects of the arts and crafts movement. The designs became quite evident in his urns.
The design that I basically follow for my urns came out of a 5-minute sketch. Well, Cynthia and I sat on the deck one day, and I said, how would this look? And it was just one of those lucky moments, and I'm real happy with it. I don't ever build two things alike. Because I'm always tweaking the design. I'm always coming up with new ideas. I'm trying to make the process more efficient to a certain extent, but also I get bored with repetition. I like variation. I like to experiment. That's what keeps me sane or insane.
Being in the casket business for the last 5 years and in the urn business for the last 2, Kevin finds himself in an industry where grief plays heavily on the senses, which is something from which he doesn't shy away.
A lot of times when I'm building, I'm totally lost in the creating this thing out of wood. But then I get these feeling, I get this notion of what it's going to be used for, and that's a whole different feeling. I like both feelings. It's a positive. They're both very positive in my mind. There's kind of a stigma that goes along with the whole casket urn business. It has to do with death and burial, and it takes a little emotional adjustment, and I've actually found it's been really good for me, just to become comfortable with the whole death cycle. It's pretty rewarding to be a part of somebody's a family's life when that's happening, to be a part in a positive way. There's something more than just art. There's a spiritual side to it that I have a vague feeling about. I have my finger on something about what I'm doing is more than just art, and that feels really good.
If you have an idea for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.